Hi there, I'm Java Jim with First Line Equipment, and today I present to you the Lelit Elizabeth Dual Boiler Espresso and Cappuccino Machine, version 2. And you're probably saying, version 2? There have been some improvements made here. Primarily the steam knob on the valve is an improvement. It's an upgraded addition to the machine, as well as safety thermostats inside, and we'll show you later what they've improved upon. Now, just to go over, this is a dual boiler espresso machine with a vibration pump, a tank that's included as well, no plumbable availability, and inside there is a magnetic float, so there's no micro switches, but please use soft water because lime scale can affect flotational devices inside a water tank, so be careful to use soft water. Now the question is, what is soft water? It's basically water without magnesium and calcium in it, because those are the two minerals that cause havoc on all espresso machines. So what has the Lelit included? A water softener filter. Now this doesn't take out the carbon, this takes out the magnesium and the calcium out of the water. It's one of the things that we like about Lelit, and one of the things that we forced upon them is to include these little puppies, because this saves the machine and makes it last longer, and it makes them more reliable. So just remember this. We have instructions on our website how to recharge it. Should be replaced every 6 months to avoid any type of mold or bacterial or fungal buildup. And now you see here there are two hoses. Which one do you think gets the filter? Not this one. This is for the OPV right here. That's the overpressure valve that's inside. It's basically this one, and that particle filter does come out. Now they do include this because some machines around the world that are sold may not have this, so they also include this. And when installing this, just make sure that it's not leaking any resins. May have damaged in transport to you, so make sure there's no gold resins that are coming out. The other thing is that we have here is a 58 millimeter portafilter with a dual spout that comes forward. This is an original Lelit design. We have the plastic scoop, which I find useless, but if you overfill the basket, which I'm a fan of, you can level out the espresso ground coffee on the top of the 2-cup basket. Plastic tamper, conspiracy in Europe with the plastic tamper companies. It's the only option that we strongly recommend getting after a good quality grinder is get a good tamper, because these really don't work that well. Single cup basket, these make a great paperweight. I prefer not to use single cup. I do have some customers that do like the single cup. Me personally, paperweight. Blind filter basket, that's for back flushing. We have that information on our website. And a little grill here, or a raising platform that goes above the drip tray grill, made of stainless. Why is this important? It's important because if you're making espresso into the cup, you basically want to elevate the cup up, because the shorter the pour, the better the espresso. So there's espresso machines that have a long pour. By the time the espresso gets into the cup, it's breaking up the oils in the crema. So it's really good to shorten that distance, and you will see an improvement. And we do like this platform, which kind of fits nicely right here. And then we'll take our portafilter. They do have a lock position right here, but as you can see, I'm barely getting there. So a lot of customers say, hey, it doesn't reach the 6 o'clock position. Time out. Basically, the machine is new, and over time, this portafilter will work its way over past the 6 o'clock. So there is a break-in period. There is a seasoning period. So don't get alarmed. As long as it goes over as much as it can, do it without the coffee first, so you know where the max is. Because if you put too much coffee in the basket, you might get only to here. And guess what? You'll have leakage. So just make sure not to put too much coffee in the basket. All right, so we're gonna get started. We'll get some water in this machine and show you a really good espresso that's gonna come out. But before we do that, we're gonna take a quick peek inside. To get the top cover off, there are T20 torque screws. One comes out over here. The two that are right here on this side of the reservoir don't have to fully come out because the panel will slide up. And inside here we have our brass boiler with a safety thermostat here and a safety thermostat here. So we have a double safety thermostat to protect the machine from overheating. And the same thing back here is we have a nice sized stainless steel steam boiler. So we have two safety thermostats that are there. We have our PID sensor right here on this wire. Make sure not to bend that. On the coffee boiler we have another PID. So there's dual PID sensors on each boiler, or one on each boiler. So just keep aware of that this boiler is not a thermal block here. There is a nice size steam boiler. So the warm-up time on this is about 20 to 30 minutes because you have 110 volts going across the two boilers, and there's an alternating current. They're not both powered at the same time, so you could stay in within the 15 amp range. We do have solenoid valves here, and we have a safety valve right here. Here is the tubing for the steam, and basically we have another tube here. This looks like the boiler refill. We have our bleeder valve that's protected, so any type of splashing is going to stay in this little rubber mounted blocker right here. And basically here's our solenoid valve for the refill of the coffee boiler. So we have another solenoid valve back down in here. We have a ribbon cable here for the PID functionality, and here is the back end of the switches. In the first 2 years that we've carried this on version 1, there may sometimes happen there's a little clip here that holds the switches in place. For some unknown reason, we've had 2 machines where that has popped out in shipping. We're not sure why, because we do bench test them with water before they leave. And just to note that there, that they just do come back, pop back in. And here we have our wiring for each switch with some quick connectors right there. And then here is our capillary tube for the pump pressure gauge as well. And then in this section right here, we do have the steam valve. So very high quality built in here. You're probably wondering, where is the OPV? We normally don't recommend that you change that because the simple reason is that you can create some damage to it. Some customers have done it on other makes and models and have damaged the OPV trying to change it. So typically we ask them to regulate it around 9, but the thing is, the pressure that the pump is creating, you've got to overcome the resistance that's created in the puck in the filter basket. So there's other ways around that to control the pump pressure. All right, and then basically the pump is way down in the bottom. So we've taken the back cover off. There's 2 screws that face the front right here, and then 3 on the bottom. But top cover comes out, and then it comes sliding off. Here you could see the steam boiler. Here is the pump down here. Here is your electrical connection for the external cord. And as you could see, there is for the OPV where it ends up in the drip tray down in the bottom there. And then if you want more access, we do need to take additional screws off the frame. And then this slides out. Okay, the hardest part is getting this platform out from this hole right here from this bolt that's right here. And in here is your micro switch to make sure the reservoir is in place. And then again, it does have a magnetic float as well. And here is our G-Carb brain unit right here. And right in here is the OPV that's way tucked in here. So Lelit really doesn't want you changing the OPV at this point. They make it very difficult for you because they don't want you to damage the unit. But the electronics are nice and low, the pump is nice and low, and here's the group head solenoid valve, so you can remove the portafilter right away. So we want to make sure that we have a level amount of coffee with the 2-cup basket, which is my favorite basket to use, and using an optional tamper holder. And let's lock that in here. Make sure the portafilter is hot, the group head's hot, and let's start on the espresso. And this is kind of ground a little fine, so we're going to get a slower pour. And actually, not too bad. Getting some good mouse tails. Nice good crema. In this case, just the learning is we would coarsen up the grind a little bit so we can get a little more of an extraction out. But this may be tasting very, very good as well. But just to show you that the grinder is also important in the equation, because the pour is going to be less of an extraction in this case. So you coarsen it up a little bit, and then you'll get a decent pour as well. Okay, for frothing the milk, basically open the steam knob and valve and put the steam wand over the drip tray or a cup, but not the steaming cup that you're going to be frothing or steaming your milk. The reason is to bleed out any condensation. Multi-directional wand, no burn. And if you want to get more vertical, and I like to keep my hand under the pitcher to monitor the temperature. And as soon as we get warm enough, we have our espresso in there. And I'm going to pour it down the side. How's that for latte art? Just kidding. If you know latte art, get this machine and show me some latte art with this machine. But we do got a little smiley face right there. Well, we hope you enjoyed our video here on the Lelit Elizabeth version 2 dual boiler espresso machine. We feel that this would make a great addition to your house or small office, that with this dual boiler you can make exceptional espresso and steam milk for your favorite cappuccinos and lattes. If you can, please give us a thumbs up down below. Any questions or comments, please ask them down below. And if you can, please subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And if you do have other questions, you can also visit the page. There's a Q&A tab called Question and Answer. You can ask your questions there as well and read other people's and viewers' questions as well. Thank you for watching and have a great day.